one of the commissioners for People's Restorative Justice Commission. Yesterday was an eyewitness to what happens inside Quickmart OTC supermarket. I went right inside. The policemen were all over the place. They were not allowing people to access the area, but even walk in that street nearby. We ate a lot of tear gas, but with a lot of resilience, I managed to get up to inside the supermarket. I also managed to talk to some eyewitnesses who observed the thing that happened between 4 p.m. on 25th up to very end yesterday, and they had a narrative they gave me. When I went to the supermarket, that narrative was confirmed. Now, this is the thing. When I arrived at the supermarket, I found that all the goods were more or less all intact. The sugar, coffee, ungangano, name it, all the properties which were there were all more or less intact. There could also be electronic things which were there, which were not taken. I even went inside the manager's office, nothing was taken. And you hope that normally when people are looting, the easiest thing to loot is money. The manager's office was never broken into, nothing was taken. Even his computers were intact. He was even able to take the photos of those things. But I saw later that news came out that there was nobody in the supermarket, from Citizen, NTV, TV47 and the rest. I want to tell Kenyans that the story which is being told in the media currently is not true. This is what we need to believe. From the eyewitness report, people broke into the supermarket and entered, and he gives the number to be approximately 50 people, if not more. And after that, what followed was that the policemen tear gassed the place seriously. So there's a lot of tear gas that entered the supermarket. Unfortunately, that supermarket has very poor ventilation. And I'm sure you can go look at the walls, just look at the walls yourself. There's not even poor, there was no ventilation because the supermarket was locked by that time. That means that these people must have been suffocated by tear gas and died. When the policemen discovered that the tear gassing the supermarket when people are inside without ventilation was dangerous and the people are dead, then they came up now. Murkomen went on site, the policemen cordoned the area so that they can remove the bodies, is when they allowed the media to go in. Why didn't the policemen allow the media to go inside with them at the same time? Why was the media entering the place around 6 p.m. when they knew very well in the morning when Murkomen was there, there are bodies inside there? So don't believe that story at all. Secondly, we do not want photos taken by the media after the event. We want CCTV footage coverage from 25th, 4 p.m. until 26th, 6 p.m. uninterrupted, because the same way they deceived us that Ojwang hit his head on the wall and then could not give us the CCTV footages. It is when we got the CCTV footage of Mbagathi Hospital that the truth came. So that's where we stand. As far as I'm concerned, I'm asking Kenyans, if you left with anybody going for Mandamano, check whether your neighbor is there. Is there any missing people? Once we know there are missing people, the fact that I was told before I went inside, I didn't see any blood spots, so no one was shot inside the supermarket and died there. Also, the story that people were killed outside and brought inside the supermarket does not add up, because there was no spot of blood inside the supermarket. The only likely theory and the only likely fact could be that people died of suffocation from gas, tear gas thrown by the police, because there was no ventilation. So that's the truth. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is regarding Murkomen's statement. When he said that their guns and weapons are not symbolic. And today he said in Kikuyu that these people should be shot. Actually, I can say simply he talked about shoot to kill order has been given. So now, there is a very big problem with this issue of shoot to order kill, because the policemen are being told they have guns. They need to protect themselves with those guns, but not protect the citizens. I want to tell CS Murkomen, first of all, on the street on 25th of June, youths were saying you should step aside because you don't know anything anything to do with the Ministry of Interior. And you proved yourself by your statement that the policemen should use the guns first to protect themselves, but not to protect property and lives of Kenyans. I want to tell you why the policemen are in discipline forces, are in the security, is that the life of citizens come first before the life of police officers and the life of the military. If you don't know that, call the Chief of General Staff to advise you. In fact, I'm asking Bwana Hariri now, call Murkomen and give him the direction. If the Minister of Interior cannot take care of the life and property of Kenyans, then the military will come in and consider the Minister of Interior as internal aggressor against the civilians, because military is there to ensure they are the last defense to the civilian population. And I want to tell him very clearly that if you don't know that, then you simply don't know your work. We doubted your competence, but now you have used it to prove to yourself that you don't know what you are saying. You can never do shoot to kill order against the civilians. The government cannot turn to be an aggressor. The government must be the one to protect Kenyans. If you don't know that, then ask the Chief of General Staff. Now, coming to the President, I want to tell you, my brother, Mr. President, that you took oath of office, and you took two oaths of office. One was oath of allegiance to the Constitution and the people of Kenya, which means the people of Kenya and the Constitution comes first. These dates are a violation to the Constitution of Kenya that you vowed to. These dates are a violation to the sovereign power of the people, which you swore to defend. So you have violated the Constitution, you have violated your oath of office, and therefore you are not fit to serve. And I want to tell again, General Kahiri, the President has proven that he is not fit to command. He is a commander-in-chief, he should command. And he has proven he's not fit to command. This is the time when we need to tell Kenyans, I need to take over if the president cannot be able to be fit to command. Secondly, I want to tell Mr. President that what he called the buck stops with you. This is the time. Life of Kenyans, defending of property, you must know that the buck stops with you. There is no single excuse that you can give that there are goons in Kenya. You cannot give any excuse that Kenyans are not law-abiding, because the buck stops with you. If you believe you are incapable, you have a pen and tender your signature so that you can resign and allow the people who can do it to do it. The last point I have is that Kenyans, we are facing economic crisis. And I saw this thing, I can read history in Kenya. During the colonial time, they did what is called destocking. The Kikuyus were empowered by destocking their livestock, where the colonial masters came and took the livestock of the people, not just Kikuyu, but even the Maasai. All the livestock keepers, they were destocking them, taking your livestock and allowing you to be in poverty, uprooting coffee and tea. That's why we started seeing jiggers emerging in some other parts of this country. When poverty is high, jiggers come in. Now, destocking is taking place in the 21st century. By ensuring that people who are running business like supermarkets, like Quickmart, their business are being infiltrated. I can see the manager of Quickmart trying to defend the government. Those are not your friends. They are destocking you, because after people have been claimed to have died in your supermarket, who will buy those goods? What is the brand of Quickmart, which was growing widely? After this government sank Uchumi, they could not run Uchumi. Now they want to interfere with the Quickmart. Now you are going to carry the burden, because this could have happened in Uchumi supermarket. The government could have hidden everything. Now it's happening in your supermarket. They are killing you, my brothers and sisters. The Kenyan problem is economics. The president cannot deliver in any single economic mandate he has, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education, whether it's unemployment. Nothing is doing, but now bringing you into the picture. And I want to tell all communities in Kenya, do not allow to be divided to be ruled by William Ruto. The narrative which is going on that Kikuyus are the one banning these shops, because you see when he blames Gachagua to have backed it, then immediately you see that Kikuyu, there was robbery. Madira, there was robbery. Dagoretti, there was robbery. Karatina, there was robbery. Then they mentioned the one in Nyeri. They are trying to brand that Gachagua is the one who has done. I can tell you very well. Gachagua doesn't use his money. We know that. Gachagua collects, Gachagua doesn't give. So if someone thinking Gachagua is giving people money to ban things, I can tell you, people were never mobilized. The countrywide demonstration was so systematic in 27 counties, there was serious demonstration. So it is clear people were acting organically. There is no one who mobilized them.